Welcome back to Time News TV. Today we bring you the latest updates on celebrities who sadly passed away. Join us as we look back on their lives, their achievements, and the legacies they've left behind. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel so you never miss a story from Time News TV.
Brian Truman was a celebrated British writer, voice actor, and television presenter whose work left an enduring mark on children's television in the United Kingdom. He was born on May 16, 1932 in Manchester, England, and over the course of his long and creative life, he became one of the most recognizable voices behind some of Britain's most beloved animated characters. Brian Truman passed away on July 1, 2024, at the age of 92, leaving behind a remarkable legacy that continues to resonate with audiences across generations. Truman is best remembered for his close association with Cosgrove Hall Films, a studio that defined British animation during the 1970s and 1980s. His contributions were central to the success of many iconic series, where his distinctive voice, expressive delivery, and comedic timing brought animated worlds vividly to life. He had a rare ability to shift seamlessly between characters, making each one instantly memorable. One of his most famous contributions was to Danger Mouse, where he voiced several characters, including the unforgettable villain Baron Greenback and his loyal yet anxious henchman Stiletto. These performances became a cornerstone of the show's popularity, with Truman's voice acting adding layers of humor, personality, and charm. He also voiced the title character in Charlton and the Wheelies and appeared in Count Duckula, further solidifying his status as a household name in British children's entertainment. In addition to his voice work, Brian Truman was also an accomplished writer. He penned episodes for Danger Mouse and Jamie and the Magic Torch, contributing not just voices, but ideas, humor, and storytelling that helped define the tone of these classic programs. His writing demonstrated a deep understanding of children's imagination and a talent for crafting stories that were entertaining without ever talking down to young audiences. Before becoming widely known in animation, Truman worked as a television presenter, particularly with Granada Television. This early experience in broadcasting helped shape his confident presence and vocal clarity, skills that later became essential to his success in voice acting. Brian Truman's death in 2024.
James Darren was a beloved American actor, singer, and television director whose talent and charm left a lasting imprint on Hollywood and popular music. He was born on June 8, 1936, in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and rose to fame during the late 1950s and 1960s as one of America's most recognizable teen idols. James Darren passed away on September 2, 2024, at the age of 88, marking the end of a remarkable career that spanned more than 6 decades. Darren first captured the hearts of audiences with his breakout role in the 1959 film Gidget, where he portrayed Moondoggie, the charming and confident love interest of Sandra Dee's character. The film became a cultural phenomenon, especially among teenagers, and its success led to 2 sequels. This role firmly established Darren as a major teen heartthrob and made him a defining face of youthful romance in late 1950s cinema. Following Gidget, Darren continued to build a strong film career, appearing in notable projects such as The Gene Krupa Story, where he played legendary jazz drummer Gene Krupa, and Diamond Head. These performances showcased his versatility and helped him move beyond teen roles into more serious and complex characters. Alongside his acting success, James Darren enjoyed a thriving music career. His smooth, romantic vocal style resonated deeply with audiences, producing several hit songs in the early 1960s. Tracks such as Goodbye Cruel World and Her Royal Majesty climbed the charts and became lasting favorites. His success as a singer allowed him to remain a prominent figure in popular culture during a rapidly changing era in entertainment. In the 1990s, Darren experienced a powerful career resurgence through television. He earned widespread admiration for his role as Vic Fontaine, a holographic lounge singer on Star Trek Deep Space Nine. His portrayal of the smooth, Sinatra-style crooner became a fan favorite, adding warmth, nostalgia, and emotional depth to the series, while introducing Darren to an entirely new generation of viewers. Beyond performing, Darren also made meaningful contributions behind the scenes as a television director. He directed episodes of popular series such as T.J. Hooker and Melrose Place, proving his creative influence extended well beyond acting and singing. James Darren's passing in 2024 was deeply felt by fans around the world. He's remembered not only for his talent and versatility, but for the grace and timeless. Eric Gilliland is an American television producer, writer, and showrunner, best known for his influential work on some of the most successful sitcoms of the 1990s and 2000s. Over the course of his career, Gilliland has played a major role in shaping modern television comedy, earning recognition for his sharp writing, strong character development, and ability to balance humor with emotional realism. Gilliland gained widespread recognition for his work on Roseanne, one of the most culturally significant television shows of its time. Serving as a writer and executive producer, he contributed to the series during its original run from 1988 to 1997, a period when the show broke new ground by portraying working-class American life with honesty, wit, and social relevance. His work on Roseanne earned critical acclaim and firmly established him as a key creative force in television comedy. Years later, he also contributed to the show's highly anticipated revival in 2018, helping reintroduce the series to a new generation of viewers. Beyond Roseanne, Gilliland continued to build an impressive resume by working on other popular and well-regarded television series. He contributed to The Wonder Years, a show praised for its nostalgic storytelling and emotionally rich portrayal of adolescence. His involvement further demonstrated his talent for crafting stories that resonate on a deeply human level. He later worked on My Boys, where his writing once again highlighted his strength in character-driven comedy. In addition to writing, Eric Gilliland has served as a showrunner on various projects, a role that places him at the center of a series' creative and production decisions. As a showrunner, he has overseen writers' rooms, guided story arcs, and managed large-scale productions, showcasing not only his creative vision, but also his leadership and industry experience. Outside of television, Gilliland has explored work in film and theater, further expanding his creative scope. His versatility across different formats reflects a deep understanding of storytelling and comedy, regardless of medium. With decades of experience in writing, producing, and showrunning, Eric Gilliland remains a respected and influential figure. Tim Bowden was a highly respected Australian author, broadcaster, and oral historian whose work helped preserve the voices and experiences of ordinary people, as well as significant moments in history. He was born on August 2, 1937, in Hobart, Tasmania, and went on to build a distinguished career in journalism, broadcasting, and historical documentation. Tim Bowden passed away on April 24, 2024, at the age of 86, leaving behind a powerful legacy of storytelling that continues to shape Australian media and historical understanding. Bowden began his professional life as a journalist, but it was through his long association with the Australian Broadcasting Corporation that he became a household name. Working with the Australian Broadcasting Corporation, ABC, he earned widespread recognition for his ability to connect with audiences in a warm, thoughtful, and respectful manner. His most iconic role was as the host of Backchat, a long-running television program that invited viewers to share their opinions and criticisms of ABC content. At a time when audience feedback was rarely given a public platform, Bowden made viewers feel heard, earning deep public trust and affection.
Beyond broadcasting, Tim Bowden was deeply committed to documenting history, especially through oral testimony. He believed that personal stories were essential to understanding the past, and this belief shaped much of his writing. Among his most notable works is Changi Photographer, which tells the moving story of Australian prisoners of war during World War II, focusing on resilience, survival, and memory. Another significant work, One Crowded Hour, explored the life of legendary combat cameraman Neil Davis, offering a vivid account of war reporting and courage under fire. Bowden also developed a strong interest in Antarctic exploration and Australia's role on the frozen continent. Through books and documentaries, he chronicled the hardships, discoveries, and humans.
Wayne Graham was a legendary American college baseball coach and former professional player whose influence on the sport reshaped collegiate baseball for generations. He was born on April 6, 1936 in Yoakum, Texas, and devoted nearly his entire life to the game. Wayne Graham passed away on March 22, 2024, at the age of 87, leaving behind a legacy defined by excellence, discipline, and an unmatched commitment to player development. Before becoming one of the most respected coaches in college baseball history, Graham began his journey as a professional player. He was signed by the Philadelphia Phillies and played as a third baseman and outfielder in the minor leagues. During the 1960s, he also made appearances at the major league level with the Philadelphia Phillies and the New York Mets. Although his playing career was relatively brief, it laid the foundation for his deep understanding of the game and his future success as a teacher and strategist. After retiring as a player, Graham transitioned into coaching, starting at the high school level before moving into college baseball. His first major breakthrough came at San Jacinto College in Texas, where he quickly established himself as a dominant force. During the 1980s, he led San Jacinto to 5 national junior college championships, earning a reputation as one of the sharpest baseball minds in the country. His ability to build winning programs and develop elite talent soon caught national attention. In 1992, Graham was hired as the head baseball coach at Rice University, a move that would define his legacy. At the time, Rice was a respectable program, but under Graham's leadership, it became a national powerhouse. He guided Rice to its first ever College World Series appearance in 1997, marking a turning point for the program. His crowning achievement came in 2003 when he led Rice to a national championship, cementing the team's place among the elite programs in college baseball history. Throughout his tenure at Rice, Wayne Graham became known for his meticulous preparation, strategic brilliance, and unmatched eye for talent. He developed dozens of players who went on to successful careers in Major League Baseball, earning widespread respect not only as a coach, but as a mentor. Players often spoke of his intensity, honesty.
Göran Fristorp was a highly respected Swedish singer, songwriter, and guitarist, celebrated for his melodic style that seamlessly blended folk, jazz, and classical influences. He was born on May 26, 1948, in Hjo, Sweden, and went on to become a defining voice in Scandinavian music from the 1970s onward. Göran Fristorp passed away on March 21, 2024, at the age of 75, leaving behind a rich musical legacy that continues to resonate with listeners in Sweden and beyond. Fristorp first rose to national prominence in the early 1970s as one half of the duo Malta, alongside Claes of Geijerstam. The duo represented Sweden at the Eurovision Song Contest in 1973 with the song Sommaren som aldrig säger nej, The Summer That Never Says No. The song became a major hit in Sweden, capturing the warmth and optimism of the era and introducing Fristorp's gentle voice and refined musicianship to a wide audience. Following his Eurovision success, Fristorp embarked on a solo career that allowed him to fully explore his artistic identity.
He quickly established himself as a thoughtful and versatile singer-songwriter, admired for his intricate guitar work and his ability to fuse folk melodies with jazz harmonies and classical sensibilities. His clear, warm vocal tone and introspective lyrics gave his music a timeless quality, earning him a devoted following. Throughout his career, Göran Fristorp collaborated with many respected artists, including jazz pianist Jan Lundgren and legendary singer Monica Zetterlund. These collaborations highlighted his musical sensitivity and adaptability, as well as his deep respect for jazz traditions. Over the decades, he released numerous albums, often centered on personal reflection, philosophy, and emotional depth. Even as musical trends changed, Fristorp remained a consistent and respected presence in Swedish music. His work was never about chasing fame, but about craftsmanship, sincerity, and emotional connection. Audiences admired him not only for his technical skill, but for the honesty and calm intensity he brought to his performances.
Bora Djordjevic was a legendary Serbian rock musician, songwriter, and poet whose voice and words shaped generations of listeners across the former Yugoslavia and Serbia. He was born on November 1, 1952 in Čačak, Serbia, and became one of the most outspoken and influential figures in Balkan rock music. Bora Djordjevic passed away on September 4, 2024, at the age of 71, marking the end of an era for Serbian rock, but not the end of his influence. Djordjevic is best known as the frontman, primary lyricist, and driving force behind the iconic rock band Riblja Chorba, one of the most popular and controversial rock bands in the region. He began his music career in the 1970s, performing with several bands, but it was the formation of Riblja Chorba in 1978 that would define his legacy. The band's name, translating to fish stew, quickly became synonymous with boldness, rebellion, and raw honesty. As the band's lead singer and chief songwriter, Bora Djordjevic gained widespread attention for his sharp, fearless lyrics. His songs often tackled political hypocrisy, social injustice, nationalism, war, and everyday struggles, using sarcasm, dark humor, and biting satire. At a time when speaking openly could carry serious consequences, his words resonated deeply with audiences who saw him as a voice of resistance and truth. Under his leadership, Riblja Chorba released numerous hit albums and songs that became anthems for generations. Their music blended hard rock, punk energy, and blues influences, creating a sound that was aggressive yet deeply rooted in lyrical storytelling. Throughout the 1980s and 1990s, the band stood at the center of the Yugoslav and Serbian rock scene, often sparking controversy but never losing relevance or popularity. Beyond the band, Bora Djordjevic also pursued a solo career and published several poetry collections, revealing another side of his artistic identity. His poetry, much like his lyrics, was direct, emotional, and unfiltered, cementing his reputation not only as a musician, but as a literary figure. He is widely regarded as one of the rare rock artists whose written work stands strongly even outside of music. Bora Djordjevic was more than a rock star. He was a chronicler of turbulent times and a symbol of defiance. His willingness to confront uncomfortable truths made him.
Tom Fowler was a highly respected American bass guitarist whose versatility and musicianship earned him a place among some of the most influential artists in rock and jazz fusion. He was born on June 10, 1951, in Salt Lake City, Utah, and grew up immersed in music from an early age. Tom Fowler passed away on July 2, 2024, at the age of 73 due to complications from an aneurysm, leaving behind a legacy of extraordinary collaboration and technical brilliance. Fowler's musical journey began at just 6 years old when he started learning the violin. As his interests evolved, he transitioned to the upright bass, developing a deep understanding of rhythm and harmony. By the age of 16, he had fully embraced the electric bass, an instrument that would become central to his career. His early exposure to multiple instruments gave him a rare adaptability, allowing him to move seamlessly between genres such as rock, jazz fusion, and experimental music. Throughout his career, Tom Fowler worked with an impressive range of legendary artists and bands. He performed with It's a Beautiful Day and later became widely known for his work with Frank Zappa and the Mothers of Invention. As part of Zappa's demanding and complex musical world, Fowler's precise timing and sophisticated bass lines were essential, earning him admiration from both fans and fellow musicians. Beyond Zappa's circle, Fowler collaborated with renowned artists including Jean-Luc Ponty, Ray Charles, and Steve Hackett. Each collaboration highlighted his ability to adapt his playing style while maintaining a strong musical identity, whether in jazz fusion, soul, or progressive rock. Music was deeply rooted in Fowler's family life. He came from a household of 5 brothers, many of whom were accomplished musicians. His brother Bruce Fowler, a trombonist, and Walt Fowler, a trumpeter, frequently collaborated with him. Together with their brothers, they formed the band Air Pocket, a project that showcased their collective talent and close musical bond. The group reflected not only their technical skill, but also the deep familial connection that defined much of Tom's musical life. Tom Fowler was admired not only for his skill, but for his professionalism, humility, and dedication to the craft. Fellow musicians
Jim Rotondi was a highly respected American jazz trumpeter, composer, arranger, teacher, and conductor, whose artistry and dedication left a lasting mark on the international jazz community. He was born on August 28, 1962 in Butte, Montana, the youngest of 5 siblings, and from an early age showed a deep commitment to music that would define his entire life. Jim Rotondi passed away at the age of 61 after a short illness, a loss that was deeply felt by musicians, students, and jazz lovers around the world. Rotondi spent nearly 2 decades in New York City, immersing himself in one of the most demanding and inspiring jazz scenes in the world. During these years, he refined his powerful, hard bop-rooted trumpet style while working alongside some of the finest musicians of his generation. His time in New York was marked by relentless performance, recording, and collaboration, establishing him as a reliable sideman and a compelling bandleader. Over the course of his career, Jim Rotondi released more than 10 albums as a leader, recording for respected jazz labels such as Sharp 9 Records, Criss Cross Jazz, Positone Records, and Smoke Sessions Records. His recordings were praised for their clarity, swing, and strong melodic sense. In addition, he appeared on over 80 albums as a supporting musician, contributing his unmistakable trumpet voice to a wide range of projects. Rotondi was also known for his innovative band leadership. He led a well-regarded quintet featuring vibraphonist Joe Locke, and later formed an electric group called Full House, which included pianist David Hazeltine and incorporated electronic instruments into a modern jazz framework. In addition, he was a longtime member of the acclaimed jazz collective One for All, further cementing his reputation as a musician deeply rooted in tradition while remaining open to evolution. Beyond performing and recording, Jim Rotondi was a passionate educator. After leaving New York, he moved to Austria, where he taught at the University of Music and Dramatic Arts Graz. There, he influenced a new generation of jazz musicians.
Merritt Stearheim was a highly influential American public administrator whose leadership helped shape modern Miami-Dade County, Florida. He was born on September 25, 1933 in the United States and devoted much of his life to public service, civic development, and crisis management. Merritt Stearheim passed away naturally at the age of 90, leaving behind a profound legacy of governance, resilience, and community building. Stearheim is best remembered for his decade-long tenure as county manager of Miami-Dade County, serving from 1976 to 1986. During this period, he oversaw one of the most ambitious eras of growth in the county's history, managing a $5 billion expansion of public infrastructure. Under his leadership, Miami-Dade underwent a dramatic transformation, with major investments that reshaped the region's civic, cultural, and transportation landscape.
Among the landmark projects developed during his tenure were the Miami Metro Zoo, the Downtown Library and Cultural Complex, the Government Center, and an expanded system of regional parks. He also supervised critical upgrades to essential utilities, including water, sewer, and solid waste facilities, projects that laid the foundation for sustainable growth in one of America's fastest-growing metropolitan areas. Stirheim also played a central role in advancing public transportation in South Florida. He was instrumental in the development and implementation of the Metro Rail and Metro Mover systems, which remain vital components of Miami's urban mobility and economic development. Beyond infrastructure, Merritt Stirheim proved himself a steady and compassionate leader during times of crisis. He was deeply involved in managing the arrival of more than 160,000 Cuban and Haitian refugees during the Mariel Exodus, coordinating services and resources at a moment of immense social pressure. Following the 1980 civil disturbances, he worked to restore stability by supporting social and community programs, many of which continue to operate today, demonstrating his belief that long-term solutions require investment in people, not just structures. In 1990, Stirheim transitioned to the tourism sector, becoming president and CEO of the Greater Miami Convention and Visitors Bureau. There, he once again left a lasting impact by establishing the Bureau's first dedicated advertising fund, valued at more than $5 million.
Bruno Zannin was an Italian actor and writer whose life story was as powerful and unconventional as the characters he portrayed. He was born on April 9, 1951, in Italy, into a large farming family as the sixth of 7 brothers. Raised in modest circumstances, Zannin's early life was shaped by hardship, discipline, and resilience, experiences that would later deeply influence both his acting and his writing. Bruno Zannin passed away at the age of 73 due to a heart attack, leaving behind a legacy defined by honesty, vulnerability, and artistic courage. As a child, Zannin attended a school run by priests, remaining there until the age of 14. That formative period, marked by strict authority and emotional struggle, left a lasting impression on him. Years later, he would confront and transform those memories into literature, using storytelling as a way to process and reclaim his past. His path toward acting was far from conventional. During a difficult chapter of his youth, which included time spent in jail, Zannin's life took an extraordinary turn. He was unexpectedly selected by legendary director Federico Fellini from among thousands of young men to play the role of Tita in the iconic film Amarcord. The casting was life-changing. With no formal acting background, Zannin brought raw authenticity to the role, helping make Amarcord one of the most celebrated films in Italian cinema history. That breakthrough launched his acting career, opening the door to years of work across film, theater, and television. Bruno Zannin went on to collaborate with a wide range of Italian and international directors, steadily building a reputation as a committed and expressive performer. Whether on stage or screen, he was known for bringing emotional truth and lived experience into his roles. Later in life, Zannin turned more fully toward writing. In 2007, he published his first novel, Nobody Must Know, an autobiographical work that revisited his childhood in religious schooling and the silence surrounding trauma. The book was praised for its courage and sincerity, earning a special mention at an Italian literary award event. Its impact extended beyond Italy when it was translated into Spanish by Trota Editorial, allowing his story to reach an even wider audience. Bruno Zannin's life stood as a testament to transformation, the idea that even the most
Giuseppe Chierchia was an influential Italian singer-songwriter whose music left a lasting imprint on Italo disco and European pop culture. He was born on August 14, 1952, in Italy, and rose to international fame at the turn of the 1980s with a sound that blended irony, groove, and unmistakable style. Giuseppe Chierchia passed away in 2024 at the age of 71 after battling multiple illnesses, bringing to a close a career that shaped an entire musical era. Chierchia became world famous with his 1980 hit Ma Quale Idea, a track that stood out for its playful spoken vocals, funky bass line, and laid-back swagger. The song was an enormous success, selling over 2 million copies and becoming one of the defining tracks of the Italo disco movement. Its popularity extended far beyond Italy, influencing dance music across Europe and remaining a cult classic decades later. Strongly inspired by the cool, ironic style of Fred Buscaglione, Quercia developed a musical persona that mixed humor, storytelling, and rhythm. He began recording professionally in 1979, releasing a series of singles and albums that followed a similar stylistic path. By 1990, his total record sales had surpassed 4 million copies, confirming his status as one of Italy's most successful pop artists of the period. In 1990, Quercia explored new musical territory under the name Age of Love. Alongside producer Bruno Sanchioni, he released a track featuring vocal.
Joe Egan was a Scottish singer-songwriter whose work left a lasting imprint on classic rock history, particularly through one of the most recognizable songs of the 1970s. He was born on October 18, 1946 in Scotland, and is best remembered as a founding member of the band Stealers Wheel. Joe Egan passed away at the age of 77 after a short illness, marking the quiet loss of a songwriter whose music continues to resonate across generations. In 1972, Joe Egan co-founded Stealers Wheel alongside Jerry Rafferty, bringing together sharp songwriting and melodic folk rock sensibilities. The band initially struggled to gain attention, releasing a few singles that failed to make an impact. However, everything changed in 1973 with the release of Stuck in the Middle with You, a track co-written by Egan and Rafferty. With its laid-back groove, witty lyrics, and unforgettable chorus, the song became a massive international hit, reaching the top 10 in both the UK and the United States. Stuck in the Middle with You went on to achieve iconic status, later finding renewed popularity through film and media, and remains one of the most instantly recognizable songs of its era. The track cemented Joe Egan's reputation as a gifted songwriter with a knack for blending humor, storytelling, and melody. Stealers Wheel enjoyed additional success, including the song Star, written by Egan, which further highlighted his individual songwriting voice. Despite their talent, the band struggled with internal tensions, inconsistent promotion, and disappointing record sales. By 1975, Stealers Wheel had disbanded due to creative differences and industry pressures, bringing an early end to what many felt could have been a longer, more influential run. Following the breakup, Joe Egan pursued a solo career. In 1979, he released his debut album Out of Nowhere, which included the song Back on the Road Again. The track received strong airplay on British radio and showed Egan's ability to stand on his own as a performer and songwriter. However, his second album, Map, released in 1981, failed to gain commercial traction and did not produce any hit singles. Egan remained connected to music in quieter ways, including providing backing vocals for Jerry Rafferty's 1992 album On a Wing and a Prayer. By the 1990s, he chose to retire from the music industry entirely, stepping away from the spotlight and living a private life away from fame. Joe Egan may have avoided celebrity.
Angela Pagano was a revered Italian actress whose extraordinary career spanned more than 60 years across theater, film, and television. She was born on April 1, 1937, in Italy and dedicated her entire life to the performing arts. Angela Pagano passed away at the age of 87 after suffering a stroke, leaving behind a legacy rooted in passion, resilience, and artistic devotion. Her journey into performance began remarkably early. At just 8 years old, Pagano was already singing in street performances alongside her father and 2 other musicians. These early experiences shaped her deep connection to live audiences and storytelling long before she ever stepped onto a formal stage. What began as humble street performances soon evolved into a lifelong vocation. Angela Pagano made her professional acting debut in 1958, gradually establishing herself in Italian theater. Her major breakthrough came in 1962, after which her career flourished.
She became especially associated with the works of Peppino De Filippo, starring in many of his stage productions and earning widespread respect for her expressive power and emotional depth. Theater remained the heart of her artistic identity, even as she expanded into other mediums. Alongside her stage success, Pagano appeared in numerous films and television productions, showcasing her versatility and longevity as an actress. She navigated changing eras of Italian entertainment with grace, continuing to work steadily while maintaining the respect of audiences and peers alike. In 2023, near the end of her life, Angela Pagano reflected on her remarkable journey by publishing her autobiography, offering a deeply personal look into her childhood, struggles, and decades on stage. That same year, she made her final theatrical appearance at the historic Teatro Soundfest.
Jerzy Stur was one of Poland's most respected and influential actors, admired for his extraordinary versatility across film, theater, and voice acting. He was born on April 18, 1947, in Krakow, Poland, into a family deeply rooted in the city's history. His ancestors had settled there after moving from Mistelbach in 1879. Over the course of his life, Stur became not only a celebrated performer, but also a screenwriter, film director, educator, and cultural leader. He passed away at the age of 77 after a short illness, leaving behind a towering legacy in Polish arts. Jerzy Stur's academic foundation was as strong as his artistic one. He graduated in Polish literature from Jagiellonian University in 1970, a background that deeply informed his intellectual approach to acting and storytelling. Soon after, in the early 1970s, he began appearing in Polish theater and cinema, quickly gaining recognition for his emotional range, sharp intelligence, and ability to move effortlessly between comedy and tragedy. Throughout his career, Stur became a defining presence in Polish film and theater, collaborating with many of the country's most important directors and appearing in productions that shaped modern Polish cinema. His performances were often marked by psychological depth and moral complexity, making him a favorite of both critics and audiences. In addition to acting, he expanded his creative reach as a screenwriter and film director, further cementing his influence on Polish cultural life. Beyond the stage and screen, Jerzy Stur was deeply committed to education. He served 2 terms as rector of the Ludwik Solski Academy for the Dramatic Arts in Krakow, first from 1990 to 1996, and again from 2002 to 2008. In this role, he shaped generations of young actors, emphasizing discipline, intellectual rigor, and respect for the craft. To many students, he was not only a teacher, but a moral authority in the artistic community. In the fall of 2011, Jerzy Stur faced one of the most challenging chapters of his life when he was diagnosed with laryngeal cancer, initially mistaking the symptoms for a severe throat infection. He endured 8 months of intensive treatment, including surgeries, radiotherapy, and chemotherapy. During this period, encouraged by his daughter, herself a cancer.
Sylvester Stallone is an iconic American actor, filmmaker, and screenwriter whose career has defined modern action cinema for nearly 5 decades. He was born on July 6, 1946, in New York City, and rose from humble beginnings to become one of the most recognizable and influential figures in Hollywood history. Stallone achieved international fame with his breakthrough role as boxer Rocky Balboa in the 1976 film Rocky, a project he famously wrote himself while struggling financially. Against all odds, Rocky became a cultural phenomenon, winning 3 Academy Awards, including Best Picture, and turning Stallone into an overnight star. The film's underdog story mirrored Stallone's own journey and instantly connected with audiences worldwide. He went on to expand the Rocky saga into one of the most successful franchises in film history, reprising the role across multiple sequels over several decades. Through the character of Rocky Balboa, Stallone explored themes of perseverance, aging, pride, and redemption, allowing the series to evolve beyond sports drama into a deeply personal cinematic legacy. Another defining chapter of his career came with the Rambo franchise, where Stallone portrayed John Rambo, a traumatized Vietnam War veteran with extraordinary survival skills. Beginning with First Blood in 1982, the series cemented Stallone's reputation as a global action icon. Rambo became one of the most recognizable characters in film history, symbolizing both raw strength and the psychological cost of war. Beyond acting, Stallone has played a major role behind the camera. He has directed, written, and produced numerous films, including entries in the Rocky series and the ensemble action franchise The Expendables. The Expendables was especially notable for bringing together many legendary action stars from the 1980s and 1990 seconds, celebrating an entire era of blockbuster filmmaking. Stallone's contributions to cinema have earned him widespread recognition, including a Golden Globe Award and multiple major award nominations. More importantly, his influence can be seen in generations of action films that followed his blueprint of physically demanding roles paired with emotionally driven storytelling. Now in his late 70s, Stallone remains remarkably active in both his professional life and personal fitness. Known for his lifelong dedication to physical conditioning, he continues to share workout routines and fitness insights, often emphasizing